Hello again everybody, back with another video. This time following on from my previous video about the Wuhan virus hex. So let's open the Freemasonic curtains and take a look. Okay, so I've called this the Wuhan coronavirus a bit extra. Linking it of course to, and I'm not trying to advertise that one there, but linking it to Corona Extra. And of course this is a special type of Corona Extra because this one's only 3.3%. Sorry, it's just me having a bit of a laugh about this hex nonsense. Okay, so let's move on. Saw plenty of code last time, but this one says coronavirus, China National Railway cuts services and Hong Kong set to halt cross-border traffic. And here it basically says the transport system or the National Railways introduced 5-step plan. It's a wonder it's not a 7-step to be honest, but it's 5 to help prevent the spread of coronavirus, including cancelling more than 250 services. So there's a 7 for a start. Now look at this. By January the 25th, 190 tonnes of material, including gloves, masks and medicine, divided into 343 batches, were transported by rail. Well, 343 is the product of 7 by 7 by 7, so it's another representation of 777, a popular hex code. Now look at this one, coronavirus origin traced to animal market in Wuhan, tests confirm, and 31 of the 33 positive samples were collected from the western zone of the market. So there you go. What a coincidence, it's 33. For masonry, we seem to have had quite a few coincidences like that, and I'm sure there'll be a bit more before this video is finished. So what have we got here now? Hong Kong closes China borders as Wuhan coronavirus spreads, and we've got under this website, I've chopped it down so you can see it, but this is a country by country look at confirmed corona cases, or coronavirus cases, sorry, or crates of corona, sounds better to me. Anyway, German coronavirus case believed to be the first human-to-human infection in Europe. It's getting serious, guys, yeah? And guess how old this German patient was? Yes, you've guessed it. He's a 33-year-old. Another coincidence. Now, I can't, actually words just cannot, I can't do this justice, but you've got 3 guys. Look at this. What are they doing? What are these 2 doing? One guy's got a sprayer, these 2 are walking behind him, and they're disinfecting a road. Now, I would imagine there's quite a few roads in a city. This is absolutely ridiculous. But if you want to look for code, we've got a number plate here, G57168. And look what G571, sorry, that's not 1, that's T68, adds up to. In Chaldean numerology, it's 33 for masonry. It's obviously a ridiculous stage photo, but just take a look at what's here. Full view, 33 code in your face. Now this is another breakdown. It's gone up since this, but this was a breakdown of Wuhan virus cases. And in China it was 7711 and Thailand 14. I've grouped them in 2s, but that adds up, 7711 and 14 adds up to 7725 for 777. And at the top here, we've got a 7 and we've got a 711, 7 by 11 for 77, so we've got 777. And of course, 14 is 2 7s for 77. Japan, Singapore, we've got 21 for 777, 3 7s. Then we've got 8 and 8. 88 master number, and that adds up to 16 for a 7. Then we've got a 7, 7 for 77. We've got a 6 and a 5 here, and a 5 and a 4. So we've got 11 and 9 for 9, 11. Then we've got another 7. And then if we add these last ones up, we've got yet another 7. And of course, we've got a 17 here. 17 is the 7th prime number, a very popular number. Okay, so Chinese doctors released a chest X-ray of a victim of the coronavirus. And guess how old that victim was? You guessed it, 33-year-old. And Sri Lanka have been flying out citizens from the epicenter of the coronavirus in Wuhan. They've flown out, guess how many? Oh, this is tiresome. They've thrown out 33 for masonry. Now, this is really interesting. Now, I'll show you where I've got this from. This is actually official, and this is the genome code for the virus. And this particular strain, I think it was isolated from the market where we had those 33 positive samples, and it was MN908947. Forget the 0, but add the 9 and the 8 and the 9 and the 4 and the 7, we get 37 for 777. So let's just take a look. If you want to go and look for it yourself, I don't understand it, but you can find it on this website here. Look, so let's take a look. Okay, so here we go. The Wuhan HU1. I don't know what all this is, but we'll get on to the genome in a minute, I think. I'm not a biologist. So let's take a look at this. I should say qualification. So we go down, 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 all these letters, whatever they mean. They obviously mean something. Blah, blah, blah. Down, 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 down. Oh, and we've got to the end. Now look at the end there. We've got 10 A's, another 10 A's, another 10, and a 3. Now that's interesting. So let's take a look at that expanded. So we've got all those lines. You saw how much there were. And then we've got right at the end, we've got 10 A's, 10 A's, 10 A's, and 3 A's. So the last code for that genome has 33 A's. A is 1, 33 for masonry. Can you believe this shite? Now, I have to play this video, and I think this makes it look faker than fake. This is about the UK evacuees. So if any of you are following all this shite, you will have seen that they flew a load of English people, or UK people and their families back. And I think they went down to Oxfordshire, I don't know if it was Bryce Norton. Then they shipped them up by bus convoy, police escort, all the way up to the Wirral, where they're in some kind of quarantine hospital. But one of the characters you'll see is Adam Bridge Mann. He's got the name, the man in his name, and guess how old he is? Yes, he's 33 for masonry. Would you believe it? And let's take a look at the video, and I'll add some commentary and text as we go through it.
We're actually being evacuated right now. My mother here behind me and my wife. The Chinese authorities have seen fit to allow her to travel. It looks like we're on a WAM 747, which is set to take us to Bryce Norton, I'm led to believe. So when we got the phone call at 4:30 this morning from the Foreign Office saying, hey, we think your wife's going to be able to go, we had about 5 minutes to throw a few things into a suitcase and get on the plane.
So why has he taken his stormtrooper face mask off? Aeroplanes are one of the most infectious places you can get with all the airy circulation. There's hardly anybody on that plane, look. But the people that there are, I can see 1, 2, 3, all got face masks on it. And this guy with that monstrous face mask, he gets on the plane and he takes it off. That makes no sense at all.
So it does appear that we are going to be back in the UK, hopefully in just a few hours.
smart moment as well. They can't take us that far short because there isn't a short.
Yes, we got a call at around 11:15 p.m. saying that there would be a flight and my wife and son could board, but we had to get to the airport by 1 a.m. and it was very short notice and we didn't think we'd be able to make it, so we decided to stay. Then we got a call around 1 saying they'd pushed the time back and we had to be there at 3 a.m. now. At that point we changed our mind, we decided let's go, let's get out of here. But we were unable to get transport. Eventually the Foreign Office, they managed to help us, and we really appreciate the effort they put in. They managed to get a car to come and pick us up, but it was just a little bit too late and we couldn't make the plane.
So they got a phone call at 11:15 to be at the airport for 1. So that gives them an hour and 3/4. And they decided they didn't have enough time. So wouldn't they have gone to bed? They've got a young child, they'd be tired, get some sleep. And then they said they got a phone call at 1 to say to be at the airport for 3. Well, that's just 15 minutes more time. But then they decided to go. But if they were already in bed and they've just woken up, they've got to get themselves up, get packed, and then go. So why would they have decided to go when they've got actually less available time than they had before? And why would the airport, if they expected them to be there for 1, call them at 1 and say be there for 3? Wouldn't they expect them to be at the airport at 1 and make a tannoy announcement rather than phone people up? It makes no sense. And then he said, he's recounting the story, he said couldn't get transport, and then he said eventually a car was sent. Well, if you're recounting the story, wouldn't you say they managed to send a car but it was too late? So clearly, I mean, this is scripted, but it's poorly scripted. Makes no sense as most of it. So let's get back to let him finish off what he was saying.
But we're trying to stay positive. We hope it blows over. We still have, we have food, we have electricity, we have internet, so it's quite comfortable here. The Foreign Office did say that there might be another plane. We might be able to get on board a plane from, as they put it, an EU partner. So we hope something like that maybe can happen, but we don't know yet.
So there you go. I can't believe how fake that stuff is, but let's follow their progress when they actually got home and see their police escort, ambulance escort, in case they all got sick, going from Oxfordshire to the Wirral. So here we go. This is the police escort, and we've got there's 4 coaches here, and they're horseman coaches. Now, horseman in Pythagorean is 39, 3 6s for 666. Horseman is 93 in English, so we've got the same thing, 3 6s for 666. And we've got 4 coaches in shot. So have we got 4 horsemen of the apocalypse? Because that would sound quite relevant with what they're trying to push with this fake virus. And take a look here. We've got this person in full protection, goggles, name it. We've got passengers in masks. And we've got the good old drivers sat here. No protection at all. And apparently the company has said that it wasn't necessary because they were told by Public Health England that all the passengers who were being transported had been screened thoroughly on several 7 occasions. Now, if there was no risk, why were they taking them to a quarantine hospital on the Wirral? I think there's no risk because there's no virus. Because it's fake, folks. It's a load of shite. And here's the convoy. Notice here we've got horsemen of Royal Berkshire. So there's our Royal reference there. Take a look at this number plate on this car. It's in full view, fully staged. This bus is not pressed up close to it or anything. HDX is 39 again. We've seen that before, haven't we? Same as horseman in Pythagorean. And it's 666. And also, if we look at HTX in Pythagorean numerology, it's 21 for 3 sevens for 777. And we look at this number plate fully in Pythagorean numerology, it's 37 for 3 sevens for 777. There's always code in those number plates. Now, this is another bit from global research, and we've got the infection history going down. I think we've got 200 and more now. Sorry, there's about 260 or something like that deaths. But look at this, 216, 216. There's probably other code here, but this is the number I'm interested in, because 216 is the product of 6 by 6 by 6. It's a representation of 666. Now, how could they pass off deaths with a hoax like this? Sorry, I should have said hex. Sorry, I slipped there. Now, the death rate in London is 200 plus per day, which is 6,000 plus per month. Now, this is a similar size to Wuhan. I think London's 9 million, Wuhan's 11 million. So, if it's similar to Wuhan, we've got 6,000 a month. Surely when you've got the control that the one world power has over everything, especially more control in China, wouldn't it be easy to blame a small amount of these deaths on a virus? And if you want to spread fear about viruses, just bear this in mind, that the average adult has 2.5 colds a year, lasting about 8.5 days each. That's 20 days per adult per year. So of the year, every adult will be 5.5% of the time will have a cold. Now, if that's distributed across the population, on average, 5.5% of the population will have colds. Now, Wuhan's population is 11 million, so it's possible that any one time 600,000 people have colds. So can you imagine you get a viral type, as they call it, infection? Could well be a bacteria that causes it. We're told it's viruses. I'm not sure how real viruses are. But how many people in the country of 70 million in the UK are going to have colds at any one time? Yeah, well, it's going to be about 7 times more than this. Sorry about the sevens there, but I'm not trying to put code in. It's just purely a coincidence. But you can see that how easy it is to spread fear. Every cold could be a mild attack of the Wuhan bogeyman virus. And here's some more code. New virus infects more than 7,700 in China. So this was the 7711, but they cut it down to 2 significant figures to 77. And here's some live updates. Outbreak is grave concern as infections spread beyond China. And this was the Hubei health officials say 37 additional deaths reported in the province. So there's our 3 sevens for 77. And here we've got the province rose by 37 to 162 at the end of January 29. A total of 1032 new cases of coronavirus were reported. So 1 and 2 and 3 for 33. The WHO held its first press briefing at 11:30. 3 11s for 33, and it killed at least, and we've got this 132 as we had here for another 33. So that's the end of this video. Just wanted to add a little bit extra to show you that they're ramping it up. They are coding it up more and more. There's code in everything, and they're hexing it up. And I'm sure it's going to get worse. It could be worse for a lot of businesses when companies start imposing travel restrictions and all this shite. It's all coming, unfortunately. And you could get a cold and you could be accused of having the Wuhan virus. So that's the end of this video. I was going to say it's a hex, but sod it. It's a hoax, folks. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.